The previous class we have seen the points and inverter delays, that those are nothing but CMOS inverter delays and NMOS inverter delays, and estimation of fall time and rise time analysis. Okay, and today's class we are going to be discuss about these contents here. The first content is nothing but it is first point is nothing but it is driving large capacity loads. So driving large capacity loads means here mainly, so it is here how much time to require charge or discharge a capacitance if it is as connected as a load circuit, right? How much time to require a charge and discharge a capacitance if it is connected as a load circuit, right? So there is the mainly thing here, it is driving comparatively large capacity loads arises here, right? So when the large capacity loads are arises across this particular case, I want to maintain what are the points we are seen previously. There we are observed 2 points, nothing but one is pull up transistor, pull up device, right? And second point is nothing but it is pull down device, right? So I want to maintain these two devices are in low resistances, low resistance path, right? These two are maintained as low resistance path. Then only they are easy to charge or discharge, right? From on chip to off chip, right? So here let us see here the on chip is having the chip is going in on resistive region, and whereas in off chip case it is having a larger amount of time the capacity is going to be charging or discharging across this off chip, right? So here to reduce the charging time across this off chip, we want to maintain the resistance across the pull up and pull down device as low path. Then only the capacitance property, the capacitance, if the capacity load as capacitance is connected as a load, then it is going to be charging within the less amount of time period. So automatically the system performance is going to be increases, right? So this is the basic thing behind this driving large capacity loads. And here I want to improve this driving large capacity load from on chip to off chip by using these cases, right? Cascaded drivers, so cascaded inverters as drivers. You know that suppose the inverters are nothing but connected one interface to one another. Suppose if it is one inverter here, hey, I want to make another inverter here connected as a cascading form. So then here the second inverter is driven by the first inverter, nothing but here the first inverter is a driver and the second inverter as a load here, right? So then these two inverters are connected in a cascading form. So here I want to make one load capacitance here, right? Like this. So these are connected in a cascading form. So cascade inverters as drivers, right? Next case is super buffers. But coming before going to super buffer, whereas in cascading inverters as a drivers, we are observing the response of the cascading inverters as a driver. The response or there is some slight difference, slight fluctuation will be occurs across the response of this particular cascading inverters as a drivers. That is to overcome such a asymmetrical output response, we want to go with super buffers, right? So in that super buffers here I want to discuss two things here, nothing but one is non-inverting non-inverting super buffers, right? And second point is inverting super buffers. Okay, you know that buffer is nothing but simply to transfer the signal at the from input side to output side, right? And third one is here it is simply by CMOS inverter here, right? So here you know that bipolar transistor means it is very with the less amount of input voltage, that is VBE, base emitter voltage, very less amount of VBE, the device is going to be in on condition, right? So here the comparatively the compare it is the BJT is going to be charged or on condition within the less amount of input voltage compared to the mass transistors. So means that on condition off condition to on condition it is going to be very fastly, means automatically the system performance is going to be increases, the delay is also going to be reduces, like that. Okay, so these are the concepts here I am going to be discussed, right? The first thing here, that is the again here it is driving large capacity load. So let us see here. So this is the basic formula here. CL nothing but it is going to be off chip. It is going to be off chip load here. It is several orders, right? Several orders than greater than this value, right? That is 10 to the power of 4 square cg, right? Firstly, I want to discuss the first point. Let us go with the first point here. The problem of driving comparatively large capacity load arises here. So when the signal must be propagated, right? When the signal must be propagated from on chip to off chip, such a large capacity loads will be arises across these particular chips. Okay. So generally, the typical off-chip capacitance may be several order higher than the on-chip, that is square CG values. The off-chip capacitance may be several orders higher than on-chip value, right? For example, if the off-chip load is denoted as CL, then CL is greater than or equal to 10 to the power of 4 square CG value, right? So this is the order of this off-chip load capacitance is very high compared to the on-chip. It is off-chip capacitance value and this is the on-chip capacitance value, right? Like that's 1 square Cg. 1 square C is the on-chip capacitance value. Okay. So clearly the capacitance of this order must be driven through a low resistance path. Okay. So here we know that clearly here we want to drive the such a load capacitance here. We want to follow or we want to maintain the low resistance path across these pull up and pull down devices. Okay. So here otherwise it is having excessively large delays will occur across this particular chips, right? In the first point here, so whatever the problems we are facing, that is off-chip loads are required very large amount of time to be charged across the particular device. So those concepts are going to be resolved by using some techniques or modify can be overcome by using some techniques here. Out of these techniques, one thing, nothing here I am going to discuss, nothing but it is a cascaded inverters as drivers. Cascaded inverters as drivers. Okay. The first point here, the drive to drive large capacity loads must be therefore present low pull up and pull down resistances. As I told you in the first slide, to drive the large capacity loads such as off chip loads, we want to maintain the low resistance path across these on chip and off chip, right? Those nothing but here the pull up and pull down resistance device are going to be maintain a low resistance path, right? And here how those pull up and pull down resistance are going to be maintained as a low resistance path. Here some of the methods, some of the techniques here I am going to discuss. Already you know the one of the techniques is nothing but to increase the width of the channel. To make the channel width will be wider. Okay. So let us the second point here. Obviously, for mass circuits, the low resistance path value for Z pull down and Z pull up imply low L is to W ratios, right? L into W ratios. In other case, the channel must be made very wide to reduce the resistance value, or to maintain the low L into W value, or to increase the width of the channel is in wider way, then automatically the channel resistance is going to be reduces. But there is one problem is occur when we are going to be increase the width of the channel, right? how that is nothing but, so when we are going to be increase the width of the channel, so this need occupies the large area, right? And one more point is, moreover, because of large L into W ratio, since length cannot be reduced below the minimum feature size. Okay, so here only the changes is going to be across the width of the channel, but there is no changes occur across the length of the channel. Only the changes occurs in terms of width of the channel only, right? So here the gate region area, that is L into W, becomes significant and comparatively large capacitance is present at the input. Okay, when it is going to be increasing order, right? And which, so when the channel width is going to be wider case, so the capacitance property is going to be it is going to be increases. I mean nothing but it is going to wider area. So let us see here. So which in turn slow down the rates of change of voltage which takes place at the input. So means here when the channel width is going to be wider, it must be taken with large amount of voltage, means it will be slow down the action of the circuit here, right? And next one, so what are the problems here? We are going to be maintain the low resistance path across the pull up and pull down regions, pull up devices in this case here. So those are having some problems. So how these problems are going to be resolved? Only the way here is going to be using cascaded the inverters. Inverters are going to be connected in cascaded form. So means the number of inverters are going to be increases in a cascaded way. The number of inverters are going to be connected in a cascaded form. So mean it is going to be increases, right? So the remedy here it is. The remedy here it is, use n cascade inverters, each of which is larger than the preceding one, right? Each of which larger than the preceding stage by a width of factor f. Okay, let us see the diagram here. So this is the 4 is to 1. Firstly, initially 4 is to 1 inverter here, and next one is 4 is to f. Here f is going to be increases, and third one is 4 is to f square. F square. So let us see here. The preceding one is going to be very small compared to the next one, next stage. Okay. So clearly here, as the width of the factory is going to be increases, the capacity load presented at the inverter input increases, and the area is occupied is also increases. That is the problem here. Okay. The factory is going, width of the channel is going to be increases. The capacity property is also present at the input stage is also going to increases. So how it is going to be required? How it is going to be optimized? So that optimized technique was only designed by two scientists, that is Mid and Conway. Okay. So here only the way is to reduce the here to use the to utilize to use the number of stages, only to control the number of stages. Okay, but there is going to be increasing the order, but here I want to reduce the number of stages here, then only it is to overcome the capacitor property at the input side. Okay, so the number of stages which must be cascaded to drive a particular value of CL. So only the number of stages. Okay, so here, let us the second point here, the rate at which the width increases, that is the value of f here, will influence the number of n of stages, which must be cascaded to drive a particular value of CL, load capacitance. Okay, so this optimum solution must be sought out as followed by the Meden Conway. So to based on this number of n stages, we want to resolve this problem, that is load capacitance problem. Okay, so coming to here, for uh, for 4 into 1 NMOS inverter cases here, the total delay, I already know that the transition from 0 to 1 case, nothing but that is the delta VIN, change in input response, that is the change in input response means 1 to 0 case, 1 to 0, nothing but it is the input response here. So 0 to 1, right? So then suppose I want to draw the circuit diagram here. This is the inverter circuit diagram, first two case inverter circuit diagram, right? This is the first inverter, and second inverter like this. Okay, this is the ground connection, VDD connection. This is on E like this. This is the input here. So this is a gate, this depletion mode. This is the V output response, right? Here it is the load circuit, that is capacitive load. Similar here it is the another load capacitance here. Okay. Here I am going to apply 0 to 1 case. 0 to 1 case. Here 4 is to 1 ratio. Okay, 4 is to 1 ratio, 1 is to 1 ratio, and 1 is to 1 ratio. So here the delta Vi and nothing but indicate the logic 1 0 to 1. So 0 to 1 here, right? So here if here I am applying input as 1 here, so then this transistor enhancement mode transistor going to be on condition. Okay, on condition. So whatever the value across this load capacitance, that will be discharged to ground through this transition time. Okay, R into Z pull down, that is R into pull, that is time constant, R into C value. So here R is nothing but R ratio nothing but 1. Z pull up by pull down ratio nothing but 1. 1 into R into C. R is nothing but resistance of the N channel, C nothing but load capacitance here. Okay, so it is 1 is to 1 ratio nothing but 1 tau. 1 tau, right? So likewise here. So the delay for stage f into tau here, instead of n, we are going to be repeated with like it is f here, f into tau for delta vn, that is a 0 to 1 stage, right? And okay, and here sin finally it is 0 here. Okay, it is going to be 0 here. Then the 0 will be applied here, right? Now 0 to 1 to 0 stage, it is 0 to 1 stage, now it is 1 to 0, 1 to 0 stage, right? So here 0 is applied here, then it is going to be off condition. Now the capacitor is going to be charges through depletion mode transistor to load capacitance, like this. So here the ratio is nothing but 4 here, and it is going to be R, and the capacitor is going to be charges, right? 4 into CL, nothing but 4 tau. 4 tau. R into C nothing but tau here. So that is nothing but 4 tau. That is the transition from 1 to 0. 1 to 0. So the total overall delay here nothing but f tau to 4 tau. Okay, it is from transition time 0 to 1. So the transition time is f tau, and 1 to 0 transition time, the transition time delay nothing but 4 tau. Okay, so therefore the total delay for NMOS inverter pair is 5 tau. 1 tau plus 1 tau plus 4 tau, that is nothing but 5 f tau. F tau plus 4 f tau nothing but 5 f tau. Similarly, the treatment is held delays for CMOS pair. Okay, that is nothing but 7 f tau. Similarly, suppose it is the CMOS inverter. Here instead of CL, I want to make here it is a 2CGL, 2C square, right? So this is the for first case, and the second case is it is going to be 5 f tau, 5 tau. So totally it is 2 tau. Okay, it is 2 tau and then nothing but 5 tau. Already this response we are discussing, we have seen in previous class. So from that value, the overall total delay for CMOS inverter nothing but 7 f tau. Okay, so let us now let y equal to CL by square CG, that is equal to f to the power of n. Okay, this is a basic formula here. So I want to take logarithmic on both sides. So we need to determine the value of f here, which will be minimize the overall delay for the given value of f. So here we need to calculate the f value, that will be minimize the overall delay for y value here, right? So apply the logarithmic on both sides for this and this value. So log y equal to n into log of n, log of f. So therefore, that is n equal to log of y by log of n, right? So for if the n is even case, for n is even case, the total delay equal to n by 2 for NMOS. If the n is even case, okay, even number of inverters are connected in cascading form, then the total delay for that is n by 2 into 5 f tau, that is equal to 2.5 n into f into tau per n mass. Suppose for CMOS, n by 2 into 7 f tau, that is equal to 3.5 n f tau for CMOS, right? And here, in all cases, delay is the time delay is directly proportional to number of stages into width of the factor into tau. Okay, it can be shown that the total delay is minimized if f is going to be the value of if f is assumed the value e. So instead of f, you can assume the value here e, then it is going to be minimized, right? So here instead of f, you can use f e here. So for n equal to for number of stages n equal to log of y, right? The overall delay for n is even, you know the value here td equal to total delay for n is even 2.5 e. Okay, instead of f, you can substitute e here, right? Here it is f, instead of f, you can substitute e. That is equal total delay equal 2.5 e n tau for n mass. Similarly, for c mass, it is 3.5 e n tau. Suppose here n is odd, n is odd. Okay, n is odd case. Suppose here n is odd. For odd case, we want to represent instead of n minus 1, n minus 1 and next stage. Okay, suppose the n is 3 here, n is 3, n minus 1 is nothing but two cases. So it is for even, and third case, third one is, next one is the 1 tau, right? For n mass in delta v in 0 to 1 transition, 0 to 1 transition, right? Similarly, for CMOS, 3.5 E n tau, instead of n, you can represent n minus 1. N is 3 here. So 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 nothing but 2. 3.5, 2 like that. And then remaining stage is nothing but 2. So this is for transition of 0 to 1. Similarly, when the transition is 1 to 0, 1 to 0 case, so it is 4 tau for NMOS and 5 tau for CMOS. So total it is going to be, this is the first case here, first stage, this is the second stage. So for, it is generally, we know that 5 tau for NMOS, okay, and 7 tau for CMOS, right? So these two are for NMOS case, right? Total on odd case, and this is for total for CMOS, whereas n is odd, 7 tau and 5 tau, right? But here, let us see here, for even case is 2.5 e n tau, and for odd case it is 2.5 n minus 1 plus 1 of e tau for odd case. So there is some asymmetrical output response across this particular NVAS, that is inverters are going to be connected in a cascade as drivers, right? So for this here, the point here, let us see the point here. This transition from VDD to 0 and 0 to VDD, there is a asymmetry response, right? Asymmetry response here. Okay, 0 to 1 it is 2.5, and 0 to VDD, VDD 0 nothing but here like this 1 point here, and output response is one type, and 0 to VDD is another type here, another case, another response is there. There is a asymmetric response across this output. There is a asymmetric response at the output of particular circuit diagram. So here in delay, the delay in the response, it will cause a undesirable output response. So this transition time 1 to 0 and 0 to 1, there is a asymmetric response, means here the result is nothing but it will cause undesirable outputs, undesirable output response at the particular circuit diagram at the output side, right? So to overcome that asymmetrical output response, we want to go with another concept, that is nothing but super buffers. You know that buffer nothing but simply transfer the response from input side to output side, right? So here the asymmetry response of the conventional inverter is clearly undesirable, right? Conventional inverter is clearly undesirable. To resolve this problem, we want to go with this super buffers. To gives rise to significant delay problem when an inverter is used to drive more significant capacitive loads, right? A common approach is used to NMOS technology, that is super buffer, such as one is NMOS inverter, one is inverter super buffer, other one is non-inverting super buffers. Okay, so these buffers gives more symmetrical response here, right? So these super buffers gives more symmetrical outputs when inverters drive large capacitive loads. Okay, let us see the circuit diagram here. Okay, First case I want to take with NMOS, that is inverter super buffers. Inverter super buffers. The meaning is there. Inverting super buffer means if I want to apply input is 0, then output is 1. If I want to apply input is 1, then output is going to be 0, right? And here let us see the circuit diagram internally here. So this is the circuit diagram here for this case, right? And this is the ground connection, okay? And this is the another inverter here, ground connection, VDD and VDD connection, right? And here let us see here. So in this way the connection is going to like this. So whatever the data is here, that will be same connected the transistor T3 also, gate of the transistor T3 also, okay? Similarly the gate of T2 is also connected to the gate of T4 also. Now I want to show the connection here, okay? So this is the depletion mode transistor here, okay? Depletion mode transistor, here it is, okay? Let us draw the circuit diagram here, right? Okay, and next one is here I want to make the load circuit load here, that is capacitance, load capacitance, that is CL. Okay, this is output response here, V out. Okay, so again the load capacitance here nothing but CL, right? This is the ground connection. Here it is V input, V input, and here it is also V input, V input. Because of this is the transistor T1 and this is the transistor T3, this is the transistor T2 and this is the transistor T4, right? So here let us the transition time here. So this is the circuit diagram, okay? I want to give the transition 0 to 1, 0 to 1. Okay, 0 to 1 nothing but here input is 5 volts, right? Suppose I want to apply 0 here, it is 5 volts. Logic 1 nothing but 5 volts. So here I want to apply, this is a V input here, so 5 volts here, it is going to be applied 5 volts. So this is the 5 volts, okay? I also have here I am going to apply the 5 volts here. Then what is the conditions of the transistors T1, T2, T3 and T4, right? So here for applying input as 5 volt as input, then transistor T2 is going to on condition, right? So if the T2 is going to be on condition here, let us see here the circuit diagram what I am drawn here. If it is going to be on, T2 is on condition, what are the value across the load capacity is going to be, that is discharges to ground, discharge to ground here, right? The discharge to ground, okay? Because here again whatever the value we are applying gate of the T2, the same value is applied also across this transistor T4 also, T4 also, right? So same thing, whatever the value across this capacitor load that is also discharges to ground through this transistor T4, right? So here let us see the input is 5 volts, output is 0 response, output is 0 response, right? So means it is going to be performing the inverter operation. Here input is 5 volts, output is 0, inverting response, right? And the second case, suppose if I going to apply input is 1 to 0, okay, here 1, here it is 0, here it is, right? Let us see the point here, okay? Suppose here, sorry, I want to take red color, okay? Here it is 0 volt, 0 volt here. So then the T2 is going to be off condition. It is going to be off condition. Okay. And similarly, whatever the value here, the gate is also connected to the transistor T4. So here also it is going to be applied 0 volts. Then it is also going to be off condition. Right? It is also going to be off condition. Now, whatever the value here, load capacitance here, that load capacitance is going to be charges through this T1. Likewise here also charges through T3, right? So here in this case, so what is the position of the, what is the in which region to charging mode, the capacitor is going here, the capacitor is going to be charging mode. In this case, in which region the transistor T3 is going to be operating, in which region the transistor is going to be operate. So let us see the point here. So here, the first point here, the output is 5 volts through transistor T3 and the capacitor is going to be charged. Okay. So here in this case, what we have to consider, in which region of operation T3 is going to be working, right? So here the capacitor is going to be charging. Capacitor is going to be charging means the T3 is simply, it is operating in resistive region. In resistive region, right? Then only the capacitor is going to be charged through this T3, right? Let us the point, see point here. So here in this case, what we have to consider, in which region of operation T3 is going to be working. So the gate voltage of T3 is VGS equal to VDD minus V out. So before charging this capacitive load here, output response is 0. Output response is 0. Because of input is 5 volts, here it input is 5 volts. So whatever the value across the capacitor, that will be discharged to ground. Now I am going to apply the input response at 0 volts. Then T2 and T4 are going to be off condition. We are getting the output response. The capacitor is going to be charges. Then what is the value of the what is the position of the transistor T3 here? Let us see here. The gate voltage of T3 is VGS equal to VDD minus V out. So here V out is 0 volts. Before charging the capacitor here, V out is 0 volts. So the capacitor yet not to be charged. Okay. Whereas we are applying input is 5 volts. So here VGS equal to VDD minus V out. Here V out is 0. That VGS equal to VDD. At the same condition, here the capacitor is not to be charges, and similarly the VDS, drain to source voltage across the T3 equal VDD minus V out. V out is 0, that is equal to nothing but VDD. But here VGS equal to minus VT. Here VT nothing but threshold voltage of the transistor, n-channel transistor. But here it is the depletion mode transistor. T3 is the depletion mode transistor. So the depletion mode transistor reduce the depletion, changing the position, changing the condition of the depletion mode transistor. There we are applying the minimum voltage is minus 0.6 VDD. Then only the depletion mode is changing from depletion mode to another position. That is an enhancement mode device, like that. So therefore, VGS minus VT equal to VDD minus of minus 0.6 VDD. Finally, VGS minus VT equal to 1.6 VDD. Okay. So here our applied voltage that is across the VDS is less than VGS minus VT. Then only the transistor T3 is going to be working in on condition, or in linear region, or in resistive region. Then only it offers very low resistance path for the capacitor CL quickly charge. Okay, it offers very low resistance path. For that, the capacitor is going to be CL is going to be charged quickly. Okay, so it reduces only the charging time, right? And coming to the non-inverting super buffers, right? Here, non-inverting super buffer means if I want to apply input is 0, output is 0. Okay? If I want to apply input is 1, output is 1. Okay. So this is a waveform here also. You have to observe here. Here 0, 1 is input response. Okay. Output is also 1. Input is 0. Output is also 0. Okay, this is the response of the charging of the capacitor and discharging of the capacitor, response of the load response at the output side, right? So suppose here if I want to input is 0 volts, then the T2 is going to be off. It is going to be off, and T4 is on condition. T4 is on condition. Why? Because it is going to be off condition. There is no connectivity in between VDD and VSS supply rails. So the transistor T2 is generating the response here that will be connected at the input of the transistor T4. Then it is there is a connection VDD to VSS through the transistor T3 and T4. So then only output response is 0. Okay. So here we are applied input is 0. We are getting output response is 0 again. So means simply it is acting as a buffer. Similarly, if I want to apply input is 5 volts, then it is also having 5 volts here, right? 5 volts here. So here it is going to be on condition. There is a path here. There is a no response here, right? Because of there is a path connected here. So the response at the transistor T4 gate is 0. It is going to be off condition. It is going to be charges, right? Charges the load capacitance. Charges the load capacitance. Nothing but it is output response is 5 volts, right? That is VDD. Okay. Here we are applying input is 5 volts or it is VDD. We are getting output response also 5 volts or VDD. So means it is the non-inverting buffer. Here one more point here it is at the same thing here. Here also T3 is going to be working in linear region. That is VGS of T3 equal VD. Then VDS is less than VGS minus VT. Therefore T3 is in resistive region. Capacitor is charged very quickly. Right? So this is the concept of super buffers. In inverting super buffers and non-inverting super buffer, how the capacitor is going to be charges very quickly. The next case is BiCMOS inverters. So here the BiCMOS inverter is, so this is the circuit diagram here. This is the resistive device and this is the MOS transistor. It is active here, it is a open circuit, right? Here we are making the connection as a load as capacity load here. Let us see the point here. The bipolar already told you with very less amount of input voltage, the device is going to be in on condition means it is quickly going to be on condition. Automatically, the charging time is going to be decreases like that. So here, the bipolar transistors have an exponential dependence of the output current IC, that is the collector current. Okay, or current in the channel, or current in the in the channel device. So on the input base current, base to emitter voltage, right? Means here very less amount of, nothing but very small amount of input current, very small amount of input current, it is going to be charges. How it is going to be very small amount of input current means, so here the collector is heavily doped, emitter is moderately doped, base is lightly doped. So very less amount of input voltage, there is a current across this particular device, right? This means that the device can be operated with a much smaller input voltage, that is VBE, swing than mass transistor, and still switch relatively large currents. Okay, so means with very small amount of input voltage, it switches very large amount of current. Okay, so with the very small amount of input voltage, that is VBE, it swings very large amount of current. So that very large amount of current is going to be charges across this load capacitance. So means automatically with the small amount, it is going to be swing current is larger current that will be charging across this capacitor, right? So here that is delta T equal to CL by GM. Here GM nothing but transconductance of the transistor. So here the GM is going to be increases, the delta T is going to be decreases, right? So here let us see the point here. The delta T is the time necessary to change the output voltage V out. Delta T nothing but the necessary time to change the output response at the output side, that is V out, by an amount equal to the input voltage Vn, Vin, right? So where Gm is the transconductance of the bipolar. So but here majorly here I am going to, here we are observing two parameter, that is Tin and Til, right? So here the Ti is nothing but an initial time. It is an initial time necessary to charge the base emitter junction. It is the initial time necessary to charge the base emitter junction of the bipolar NPN transistor. Okay, so this is the very less amount VB. VB nothing but very small amount of voltage we are going to apply base emitter junction. It will be swing very large amount of current, right? So here the BiCMOS transistor based drivers we are considering TIN is in the region of 2 nanoseconds. But whereas in CMOS transistor drivers, in the same BiCMOS technology is 1 nanoseconds, right? So here, whereas in BiCMOS transistor bias driver circuits, it is having the 2 nanoseconds. So whereas in CMOS technology, the CMOS transistor drivers in the same BiCMOS technology, it is offering very less amount of time, that is nothing but 1 nanoseconds. So this being the time taken to charge the input gate capacitance, right? And TL is the time taken to charge the output load capacitance, that is CL. So it will be noted that this time is less for the bipolar driver by a factor of HFE. So here the HFE nothing but current gain, right? Let us see the graphical representation of this delay estimation here. So this is the here on y-axis I want to take that is the delay unit delay time, and x-axis I want to take it is the load capacitance. This is the two responses, CMOS technology and by CMOS circuits, right? Here slope equal to voltage by ID, and slope equal to voltage by ID into HFE, right? So this is the delay of BiCMOS inverter can be described by T total delay equal to TIN plus V by ID into 1 by HFE into CL. So here I already told you HF is the current gain of the common emitter configuration of bipolar junction transistor. So here CL is the critical value here. So below this value, below this response here, below this response, the time taken is going to be, the total delay is going to be increases. Okay, if the critical value is going to be decreases, so then it is going to be like this. Okay, this response is going to be like this. So if it is going to be increases, then the response is going to be like this. Okay, so this is the critical value for the load resistance. Let us see the point here. The CL is the critical value of load resistance below which the BiCMOS inverter driver is slower than the comparable CMOS inverter driver. Okay, so let us see, this is the CMOS inverter response, this is the bipolar response. Below this critical value, the CMOS response is compared to very high and compared to BiCMOS technology, BiCMOS inverter, right? So here the RC is nothing but the resistance of the channel is, the RC is another significant parameter. It will increase or decrease the delay. It will increase or decrease the delay. How it is going to be increase or decrease the delay? Because of the resistance of the channel. RC nothing but the resistance of the channel here. So here the resistance going to be increases. Suppose the resistance going to be increases here. The charging time of the capacity is also going to be increases. So overall delay is also going to be increases. Okay. Okay. So here that is the response of this particular delay estimation in BiCMOS inverter. So that's why here RC is the another significant parameter. Here it is. It will increase or decrease the delay of this particular response.